Samsung fans, you're not gonna like this episode. Hey guys, Michael here, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to cover the whole Samsung Unpacked event. So if you guys don't know already, Samsung has made an event that happened in Brooklyn, which obviously everybody knew about. Now obviously I would love to sit here and go into detail about all the specs and stuff, but let's be honest here. All I'm going to do is name off the products they unveiled, and then I'm just going to talk about a few of them in particular. And at this point you don't even need a breakdown, because honestly Samsung, they leak their own shit. So I'm just saying, Samsung pretty much, I mean, everything that's been said that was going to happen pretty much happened, and Samsung, you pretty much leaked your own shit. So that's all I gotta say. But at this event at Unpacked, which they're calling it, so we get a lot of new things coming out of Samsung. So let's take a look at the list down. I'm just gonna run through them briefly. We're gonna get a brand new Note 9, which in my opinion is a major step up. That's one. You get the Note 9, which comes in a blue and a pinkish purple, and you get black as well. On top of that, you also get the Galaxy Watch. That is supposed to be their newest thing coming, or supposedly with the smartwatch. It's supposed to be the first without the gear branding. Hey, I don't know. Next up, then we got the main topic of this episode, the Galaxy Home. More on that in a second. And then they unveiled a brand new version of Bixby as well. And then they also unveiled a AirPower knockoff, but not really, a duo wireless charging mat that can charge two devices in one. And I'll talk about that as well. Let's start it off. Before we get to negatives, I just want to give out some positives. Samsung can make one hell of a device, and I have to admit, the Note 9 is honestly a great phone. Looking at it, seeing what it looks like, and everything that it features, it definitely is something to behold. Honestly, props to Samsung. They make some good-ass software. They make some good-ass hardware with some good-ass software, Android. And honestly, it is pretty impressive. So, the Note 9, I'm going to give that one, honestly, a plus. The Galaxy Watch, on the other hand, it's just pretty much a, excuse me. It is also pretty much just a Galaxy Watch. Nothing really big about that. It does come, however, in two different sizes. It comes in 42mm and a 46mm. So that's a definite plus. But let's talk about the main topic of this episode. The Galaxy Home. Okay. Before I even start, I just want to know. Any of you ever heard of Bixby? Do any of you use Bixby? If you said no, then you're probably in the right category, my friends, because Bixby is probably one of the dumbest, if not one of the worst, in my opinion, smart, artificial intelligence, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's honestly one of the dumbest personal assistants that I've ever used. And this is coming from a guy who has used Siri and Google Assistant. So I'm not being biased because of Siri. I actually have used Google Assistants. Now, it's bad enough that nobody uses Bixby on a Galaxy. Everybody uses Google Android. So why they keep pushing Bixby, I have no idea. And obviously Bixby is trying to play catch up like Apple did. But here's the difference. Apple's Siri is actually useful. Bixby is not useful. It's dumb. It's definitely not recommended by anybody. And I will sit here and wait for one of you guys to say that you use Bixby. I'll wait. You hear that? Nobody. So, with that said, I mean, I'm not bashing the upgrade to Bixby. I'm bashing the Galaxy Home. You see, I appreciate that, Samsung wants to get into this, but the problem is kind of a big thing in this sense. But before we even talk why Bixby is failing and they should just stop, let's look at the Google Home, or the Galaxy Home. My God. This is supposedly the competitor to the HomePod, but at the same time, a competitor to the Google Home. First off, they ripped the name off, Galaxy Home. What the fuck? They pretty much took the 360-degree sound effect with a fabric exterior, and on top of that, they also have Bixby built in. It is, however, it can turn smart lights on and it can lock your doors. So with that said, I guess I can say it's not that useless, but here's the problem. The HomePod, while it's priced at $350, this thing could well be in that range. Because, look, Samsung is starting to go into the terms of Apple. They are starting to upcharge everything. They're doing what Apple is doing now. Now, Apple fans, don't get mad at me. Just because Apple's worth $1 trillion doesn't mean they got where they got because of the pricing. $999 for a smartphone? That's what the Note 9 cost. This wireless charging duo set? $120. And now this smart speaker. Is it useless? I don't think so. But is it really needed? No. And I'm going to tell you why this thing is dumb. Not the speaker, the idea of having a Galaxy Home when you have Amazon Echo, the Google Home, and the Apple HomePod all in the market. Here's the difference. Apple's HomePod works with Siri. Siri runs on iOS, so if you run iOS, you'll have no problem. Amazon Echo has its own base, uses Prime. Sorry, almost had a cup. And using Prime allows you to get music, the internet, and many other things. Google Home is just the same as both of them, but if not a little better, in my opinion. Even though I use the HomePod, I think the Google Home is better. The Galaxy Home. The Galaxy Home runs on Bixby, that runs on Samsung, and Samsung phones are operated by which software? If you guessed Android, you are correct. And who makes Android? Google. Do you not understand the pattern here? Nobody uses Bixby. Bixby is stupid. First of all, Bixby is a failed project. It is not even considered to hold a candle next to any of these. Like, when it comes to Alexa, anything, I don't know. Okay? Why the hell Bixby is around is dumb. Google Home does everything. The Google Assistant does more than Bixby. It runs on Android. That works hand in hand. Apple has Siri, and that runs on iOS. They work hand in hand. Bixby is a virtual assistant. It runs on a Samsung whatever, but runs on Android. What's the point? Nobody even uses Bixby to begin with. And the fact that you have a speaker, which in my opinion could be good, could have decent sound quality, but you have to use Bixby. Now you're probably saying, but wait a minute, isn't that the whole point of a smart speaker? You're supposed to interact? Here's the problem. Samsung, if you want to make an ecosystem of your own products, stop making them run on Android. Come up with your own software. Make your own, like you did with the Samsung Duo or Duo Dock, whatever it's called. That works fine. Yeah, you use your phone. Get your own software, for Christ's sake. Then have Bixby integrated, then it would be understandable. But the fact that this software runs on Android, and the fact that this stuff comes out on Android, it makes zero sense. And the fact that nobody even uses it is stupid. Now, obviously, the speaker itself looks... I thought the HomePod looked like a roll of toilet paper. This actually looks... I don't know. But the point I'm trying to get at is Bixby is not the virtual assistant you need. Google Assistant does everything. Apple's Assistant does everything. Bixby? What the fuck? So, in my opinion, this speaker, this smart speaker, the way it can succeed is it depends on Bixby's whole way that it works. So if Bixby doesn't get used as much, and if it can't make a big turn or change, then I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. So, Samsung, I would love to sit here and rant that you have pretty much knocked off Apple in many ways, but you haven't. You've done your own thing. You made your own artificial intelligence thing because you wanted to. But honestly, you got Google Assistant, which is way better. You've got Siri. Why do we need you? For what? So that's all I gotta say. That's gonna do it. Other than that, everything else was alright. I mean, the event did what it said. Obviously, everything was leaked. And the Note 9 is definitely one hell of a phone, but for $999, at least that's a justifiable price, because you get a fucking I believe you get a 6.4-inch screen. You get a dual pen included. You get fast charger. You get your fingerprint scanner. You get everything. So I think for $999, that phone is actually worth it. Just saying. So, that's all I gotta say. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for listening or watching. Let me know, what do you think of this stupid smart speaker? I'm not going to rip on Samsung because honestly, they made one hell of a presentation, even with the reaction they were getting. And honestly, their phone, the Note 9, is impressive. So I'll give it that. And their smartwatch is pretty generic. It works just as well. So, no complaints. It's alright. So that's going to do it. Thanks for watching and peace.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if